Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. We're here for the weekend review of the Styrian Grand Prix, round 8 of the FIA Formula One World Championship. And, well, what can I say? If you can see by community posts earlier today, you had found out that it was Max Verstappen who took the Grand Prix by storm. He took the qualifying session by pole position. He took the race win with a dominant victory in lights to flag. I think he led every lap in that race, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he did. Let me just go back and double check it for you guys. Make sure you smash that like button and that subscribe button. Also, if you want to become a member today, do hit that membership button, hit that join button. 3 levels to choose from, and you are supporting Children's Liver Disease Foundation's fight against childhood liver disease by signing up to a membership fee. Loads of perks, and there should be even more perks coming your way as well. So make sure you are set up for that. But let me just try and find. Try and find it. I think he did, actually. He did win from lights to flag. Sorry, so he did win from lights to flag. So there you go. Dominant victory. Fair play to him. That's his 4th win of the season now. It puts him, I think, 12 points. That's now 19 points away from Hamilton, who tried everything in his power throughout the weekend to find the pace, to cope with the pace of the Red Bull. But he couldn't find it. He can't find any pace in this car. He's doing everything he can to get every single little bit out of this car as he possibly can, and he cannot do it. As simple as this. They need an upgrade, right? There are certain parts of the car they can't upgrade, right? There are certain parts like the chassis structure, the gearbox, they can only be changed by certain tokens. They've used their tokens for this season. The only thing they can change now is wings, barge boards, all the other stuff they're allowed to change. They need to develop. If you're new to this sport, you develop a car throughout a season. You make you come up with the initial car, then you come up with developments that make the car faster, right? As time goes on, they have not had an upgrade for I can't tell you how long, because they've invested all their resources into next season. It is going to cost them this championship. Fact. Mercedes are going to lose this championship if they do not come up with an upgrade sometime soon. Even in his interview, he said, I can't tell the last time I had an upgrade on this car. To me, that's telling the team, I want an upgrade. I want some investment on this car. Hamilton is not one of these people like, I want to win sometime in the future. I want to win now. He's always been that way, and it should be that way. He's not going to win a championship this season if Mercedes do not attempt to try and upgrade this car to keep up with Red Bull, because Red Bull are streaking away. The only thing I can hopefully, if it carries on like this, stand for is that they come out with a car next season that wallops Red Bull apart, that pulls them away like it did in 2014. That's the only thing I can possibly say would be a saving grace. Because if it isn't, a Red Bull produce a car that's just as good, it was all for nothing. All that wasting time was for nothing. All that wasting of putting everything into next season was for nothing. It was just to have the same car that Red Bull had, the same car as Red Bull has managed to produce, though they managed to invest last season and win a championship. You've won 7 titles in a row, right? And I'm sorry, if you're going to make it 8, you've got to invest. You've got to. I don't see this turning out like it did in 2018. Hamilton is trying every which way to find performance out of this car, right? Even at some point during that race, he looked like he was about to lose it and put it in the wall. He's out driving this car beyond its limits, right? When you start pushing those limits like that, you are so close to putting in the barriers. And he came out of turn 4 and got into a power slide trying to get back on the power too soon. And it nearly puts him in the wall. If he does not, he is out driving this car. He is out driving this car beyond its performance parameters, which is pushing him to the very edge. But he's not going to be able to do much. He's not going to be able to win if it carries on the way it is. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Hamilton can only do so much. He's not a god. He's not a Superman, right? He hasn't got like a special magic button underneath him that presses NOS and makes him take off about 5 seconds down the road. They did have that called party mode, but some teams like Red Bull decided we don't agree with power party mode, because why should they get to have party mode? We don't have it. We'll develop it then. But even still, right, Red Bull are performing better. Perform better in every weekend, in every department this weekend. Can't deny that. And at the minute, they do have the advantage. For me, what will be really, really a psychological blow will be if Red Bull went to the British Grand Prix, because next week it'll probably be the same thing. It's only a week in between each races, and there's not much you can change within a week, right? But if they went to the British Grand Prix next, the 3 weeks down the line, and if Red Bull win there, knowing Hamilton's record there, if Red Bull goes to the British Grand Prix and win that one, that is going to psychologically gonna be the biggest blow to Hamilton and Mercedes. And for me, that could be the one that decides the title. For me, it could be the one that says Max is going to win it. Unless something radically changes over the month of the summer break. Maybe that's what Mercedes are relying on. I don't know. We don't know. These teams work in secret for a reason. So we don't know until the next race what they're going to come up with. But everything that's coming out of Mercedes is not good. It's not good looking for this season. It's more looking good for next season. And I will mention some other drivers now. I'll mention another thing about Mercedes. Russell. He must have the most shittest of luck I have ever seen in an F1 driver since I've watched F1. This guy has no luck. Right? He was running 8th. He was bearing down on Alonso. He was about to undercut him as he came into the pits. And then a faulty stop with also a top up he had to make. I'm not sure quite what the problem was. I'm going to have to look this up actually. Russell's George. He was very encouraged with. He was encouraged when he started 10th about the pace of the Ferrari, but there you go. It's not like being encouraged. It's rather you win. So, yeah, Wolf offered his sympathy to the Mercedes protege, who has been linked with the move to the silver era for 2022, and I mean heavily linked. So yeah, as Mercedes, obviously another opportunity next week, George. So Aston Martin said he did an amazing job today, George. Keep pushing. We can't wait to have some battles with you next weekend. Even McLaren said, unlucky today, George. Our sport can be cruel. Keep pushing, and you'll see you on track the next race. So it's just, yeah, it was cruel to see what happened. Wanted to try and find out what the actual problem was. Um, um, Rather than a damage to his car, Russell clarified it as just a technical problem which was something to do with the pneumatic pressure in his car. Hence why you saw two separate mechanics trying to put pressure, I think, back into the car during the pit stop. And yeah, that is such a shame. It's such a blow. Big up Static in the building. Smash the like button, please. Smash the share button as well. Share it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Share it. Let's get people watching this. Let's get Europa. Let's get F1 fans watching this. Please, right, as we try and build this great F1 community. As well as that, I've got to also shout out the Maisie Hall as well, the YouTube member, as well as Talk as well, another YouTube member going. And if you want to if you want the same thing, go and subscribe to the membership now. But yeah, everyone looked so hard at Williams to get that result, and it was so cruelly taken away. And for me, it's just another proof that Russell deserves to have a chance in the Mercedes now. In terms of next season, as we're talking about Mercedes, I think Russell should be in the car next season alongside Hamilton for next season. That's for me. But yeah. But we're gonna have to yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. But another driver I want to mention, Leclerc shows his talents yet again. Some people saying he should have got a penalty for his collision with Gasly. I don't know. I could actually put that in the pot in a poll for you guys. Um, so let me just put that in a poll for you guys. Let me put this. Do that. There you go. Yeah, so I think not, to be honest. It's not so much turn one, it's just like the first lap, and people might see he run off the runoff area first, which meant he should have been giving the places up anyway. right? Because obviously you went off the circuit, been shoved, Alonso shoved Pierre Gasly pretty much onto the curb, which meant it looked a little bit on the outside, and he had to go to the runoff area. But because of the runoff area, it meant it could continue. This is why a lot of people don't agree with the runoff area. They agree with gravel traps. I'm sort of the same bracket, right? They're supposed to be the best drivers in the world, so let's test that theory. If they're supposed to be the best drivers in the world, they shouldn't make mistakes. If they make mistakes, you should be punished. So, and the way you punish them is putting a gravel trap there. So if they end up with a gravel trap, the thing is they'll be out of the race. So you shouldn't get another chance, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, like I said, is even then, there's so much for the punch he caused. It also caused him to have a front wing damage, which meant he had to pit because he had lost all the front downforce. I mean, his car wasn't fast. I mean, he had to pit, had his nose cone changed. Then it was a fight from the back of the grid all the way up to the front again, and performed admirably well. He was passing cars left, right, and centre, very close to causing a puncture himself by cutting across Raikkonen when he overtook him, but fought his way back up to, I think he finished in the end. Where did he finish? Where did he finish? He finished in the end in P7. And I think, where did he start? Let me have a look at the banners. Where did he start? He started in P7 as well. So he just fought his way back to finish where he started, which, given the fact he had a front wing damage at the start of the race, is a pretty strong race, and that's probably why he got driver of the day. So that was standout performance from him. Even his teammates, Sainz, who qualified 12th, they had a great race. He got himself up to 6th position behind Norris, who finished 5th. Norris wasn't going to hold Perez and Bottas behind, and you saw at the start of the race that he didn't want to be in that battle. He was too busy fighting Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. So he just let them get on with it and have their own battle while he concentrated his battle with the Ferraris. But maybe he could have tried to stay in front, but that's their call. But no matter what, obviously Perez started 4th, and Bottas started 5th after his penalty. The reason Bottas got in front was Perez had a slow stop, probably his right, left, rear left, and yeah, it meant that he was just, how should I put it? It meant that he was slow pit stop, which meant that Bottas managed to jump in the next lap. If that had happened to Verstappen, he would have got out the same time because he was at 5 seconds. He was on Hamilton, so he would have got out in front. It would have to have been a serious failure of the real gun and cause a longer delay to be able to overtake him. And then even overtake him, he had to try and stay in front. That was going to be difficult for Hamilton to stay in front. And I don't think it would have done. So that's just the outright pace that Mercedes are lacking at the minute. And it's quite alarming when your team boss, Toto Wolff, says it's your first race in 8 years or 8 years that you severely lack the pace of the car, from the car. Last time I think they this much pace from a Red Bull, it was Sebastian Vettel, and they lost the title in 2013. That's what I mean. That's how bad it was. But Tsunoda, he started. When did he start? He started 11th, got himself up to 10th into the points after his penalty. Who else had some good performances out there? Daniel Ricciardo didn't really get much luck. He had a good start, got up to 8th, but then just had problems with the car and won the car throughout the race, and then he dropped back and back and back to his original starting position in 13th. Who else? That's pretty much it, to be honest. That's who had a standard race, really had a good race, and everyone else pretty much had a usual box standard race. I think apart from maybe Raikkonen, to be honest, Raikkonen got himself up to 11th from 18th, which is a decent display. But yeah, apart from that, there's not much else. Alonso had a very strange race. He managed to stay in 9th despite the train of cars he was creating with his pace throughout the race, especially the first stint. There was like a whole train of them. I think it was Alonso, Russell, and Sainz was in there. I think Leclerc ended up at the back of it as well. There was Raikkonen, Ricardo, there was Tsunoda, a whole lot of them, Stroll, Vettel, all in that massive train. So, yeah, man, it's but like I said, the main thing worrying for me is what's happening with Mercedes. It's alarming. It really is alarming for me now. It is starting to maybe doubt whether they can recover this or not. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to go to the driver and team ratings for this weekend. Did anyone see the tweet that Sky Sports put out on Mazepin? Right. Anyway, we're gonna share this to get it over with. I can go to bed. So I don't really want to do this much longer. Anyway, the ratings for this weekend. Let us know in the chat if you yeah, let's have a look. So we go reverse order. So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna go from what the grid was. So let's start. Mazepin, who is at the back of the grid to start with. I need the team results. Actually, I need the results. He started 20th, 18th, just his usual trash level, just nothing that we expect. Not any good. Schumacher, I think, was just another Just another poor weekend from him as well. The only thing he gets above is because he gets, yeah, it's just very poor. But you go in front of the TV, right? Latifi for falling behind a Williams, even for Williams, fall behind a Haas is very, very poor. I'm sorry, right? Especially when you got your teammate running an eighth, right? And I don't know why Latifi's still here in the sport, to be honest. In my opinion, I don't know why he's here. Maybe because someone can explain to me why he's here. But we move to who started in 18th place. It was Raikkonen, and he got himself up to 11th. I think that's a very good performance, in my opinion. Raikkonen had a good race today. Didn't get quite in the points, but did a very good job making up those places. And then we moved to Ocon, who started 17th and he finished 14th. Very poor weekend and overall, to be honest, compared to his teammate. Very poor weekend for me. Gets a 3. Let's Giovinazzi started 15th, finished 15th. Just generally to be done by your teammate as well. It's kind of a poor weekend this weekend for him, which is a shame because he's been doing well the last few weekends. So, yeah, Giovinazzi gets a poor for me. Then we move to Vettel, who qualified 14th and he finished in 12th. He did all right during the Grand Prix, had some battles out there. It's a poor weekend though compared to what he's been doing recently. So maybe the car just didn't suit the circuit this weekend. Because Stroll struggled, I think, as well, didn't he? He struggled. Then we go to Ricardo. He started in 13th, ended up 13th. Again, a very, very poor weekend for Ricardo. Something Ricardo is not right at McLaren. Something not right. We got Yank talking smack. How are you, mate?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. Just getting these ratings over with, and then just gotta lie down in a dark room.
Yeah, I definitely think that Ricardo, I can already see, is definitely in the spot that he should be. It was that loss of power after going up 4 spots on the opening lap. His loss of power killed his race.
What do you think? Just quickly before we go back to it, Hamilton came out and said that he can't remember the last time he had an upgrade. Right?
And then,
He
yeah,
can't. And to me, that sounds like, what the fuck is going on? I want an upgrade. I want to win.
I mean, I get it. He even said,
I can't drive anymore. I can't drive any more than I'm doing.
yeah, and unfortunately, it's just how it is. You know, you gotta just kind of, and teams go through those phases. I think
I
that this
hate
is
these
a
people
case
that
of the
come straight
tokens
in.
being
It's
done.
like, I can't get these people that saying why, yeah, that Hamilton's a fraud in this, that, and all the other. And these people, I know where channels they're coming from. Right? Anyway, but because that channel has an agenda against Hamilton, but I don't
No, but
get it.
it's because when people get too good, they like to go after the team. It happens all the time. We see people go after Bayern all the time because of the fact they just constantly win. I mean, it's just something that happens. People went after Juventus for a long time because Juventus constantly kept winning. When you keep winning, people get jealous, and people are going to call you a fraud once you start not being as good. And sometimes it's not even the fault of the person. Like we see with Hamilton, it's not even his fault that he has not been as good this year.
Yeah.
It's been the fault of the car.
Yeah.
If
He's
it's not,
driving
if
the
the car
thing.
was
He's driving
upgraded,
the wheels. To be fair, he's the Bahrain Grand Prix, who was a few tenths down, won that one.
yeah,
He'd been level with him for Imola, Portimao,
he would have
Spain.
won Baku if it wasn't for the magic button.
Well, yeah, that's probably the only mistake he's probably made.
Yeah,
The rest of it's just been the car.
yeah. He's done all he can do, and I think it's definitely showing for McLaren that not McLaren, but for Mercedes, that he's kind of going, okay, can we please give me an upgrade or something so that I can start competing? Because the fact that they were so far down, and the team even said, just manage your tires, showed that they even knew they weren't going to get first. They knew that they were out. And when you get to that stage as Mercedes, who's, like they said, this is the first time that Mercedes has lost 4 Grand Prix in a row ever. It should be a wake-up call for Toto and the team saying, hey, maybe we should actually start putting up upgrades into the car so that we can start competing again.
They use their tokens up, but that's only for certain parts of the car.
Yeah, you can still have upgrades on other parts of the car.
Yeah, there's barge boards, there's just wings,
everything
you can change. So, for me, it's not about just unlocking the car like they did in 2018. For me, it needs an upgrade of some sorts.
It needs stuff done to it. Red Bull's upgraded, McLaren's upgraded, Ferrari's done a bunch of huge upgrades, and it seems like the only team that's in the top 4 the only team in the whole grid besides Haas that hasn't done anything this year has been Mercedes. It's interesting that the worst team and the best team have been the 2 teams that have done absolutely nothing to improve the car.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go to where were we? Science.
I think he had a good race. I think he's okay.
A very good race.
I think he had a very good race. I think of course, the driver of the day is my driver of the day is I think who was voted as driver of the day, and I think he will get to him.
Yeah, but I think he had a very good race.
Yeah, Sainz is good,
and just a very good race that made up for a poor qualifying.
Oh, definitely.
11th Sonoda, and he finished in 10th.
I think he's okay. I mean, going up 1 spot and really not doing much the entire race. I think it was okay.
He was okay. Yeah. 9th. 10th. The next one was Russell.
My heart breaks.
My heart breaks. This guy's got no luck, man.
I think
this guy should be in the Mercedes now because this guy's got no luck.
He's got no. I mean, he qualifies in 10th for the race and gets absolutely screwed over by a
very good.
It's a very good for him. It's very good. I think for the car and as a team, the team should be in Mazepin level area for the fact that they ruined his race by something that he couldn't control.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I don't know, bro. You doing?
I like your little poll. I definitely agree that I don't think Leclerc should have gotten I don't think he should have gotten a time penalty for puncturing Gasly's tire. I think that was just unfortunate.
Yeah. What is with the poll at the minute?
It's 67% say no.
How many votes?
Let me double check here. 3 votes. So 2 people have gone. 2 people have gone no, and 1 person's gone yes.
Okay. But yeah, we'll keep voting on that. Make sure to like the stream and share it as well. We're gonna. I know it's late in the night, so that's probably why not a lot of people are watching, but we'll get it done anyway.
Stroll. He had an okay race.
He finished. Yeah, where did he finish in the end? 8th. So he started 9th. So
I think if you only go up 1 place, it's an okay race.
Yeah, he's better than Vettel. He's better than his teammate.
Vettel didn't have a great race today.
He didn't have a great weekend.
No, his weekend was actually kind of poor.
We're trying to do this, like, obviously, in general. Leclerc started 7th, dropped down to the back of the grid, and then fought his way back up to 7th.
He's a 10.
So, like, he's done nothing wrong.
No, I think he's a 10. I mean, he was absolutely he even said when the race ended, he's like, this car was flying today, and he did. He got out in that pit on the first lap and just absolutely flew.
Yeah. Gasly, 6th, and he finished. He finished. Where did he finish? He retired, didn't he?
It was very poor. Yeah, he retired in the first lap. I think it's very poor. You can't really say anything else because it was unfortunate, but it still was a very poor race for him.
Yeah,
it would be lower if it was his fault, but it wasn't his fault, so I'd say
I
very
would
poor.
say poor though.
Yeah, I'm fine with that because I think it's not his fault that he went out.
He was sort of minding his own business, to be honest.
Yeah,
but no one went past him. So, Bottas. This guy is just. He finished.
I'd say he had
again,
an okay race. He technically moved up spots, so I guess you can say okay, but it should be expected from him.
Yeah. Then it's Perez.
I think it's just okay. He was fourth. Okay. He ended fourth.
Yeah. The team didn't help him out with his pit stop.
Yeah.
Norris.
I think he had a good. I think he was good. I think he was good because I think.
Very good. I think he's had a very good weekend.
I think he's had a very good weekend, and the reason for me because he qualified third, but also because he wasn't expected to stay in front of Bottas and Perez. It was said by McLaren that they were going to race their own race.
Sorry, Alonso.
I think he had I think he was all right. I don't think he was anything special, but I think he was all right.
He started where?
I think he started just as So he dropped back. So I'd say okay to poor.
Yeah, poor. Okay. Hamilton.
I think he did good for what he had and what he did. I think he did
very good.
I think he did.
The car. It was at one point during the race. He was about to put the car on the wall.
Yeah, I think he had a save where he went into the gravel where.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was
absolutely amazing save. That car did not deserve to be driven that well, but it was just because you had Hamilton behind the wheel.
I mean, I'll put him at 9, but there you go. But
I put Verstappen at 9. I mean, just
I put Verstappen at 9.
Start to end, just class.
Just had an answer for everything. And what I love is when people call Hamilton a fraud, right? Hang on. You call him a fraud because he would win from start to finish with no challenges. Isn't that what Verstappen just did?
Yeah.
So we're not calling him a fraud now, are we?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of times because this is the first time that Verstappen's actually started to actually have these kind of races where he wins like this. But I could bet you if he starts doing this over the course of 2-3 years where he consistently does this, Verstappen will get called a fraud in 3 years' time.
Big up. Haas.
Poor. Yeah, you can either do Mazepin or you can do it's not good. No, although I think I'd put him next to Latifi just for Gunter Steiner giving the spinning top to Mazepin.
You saw that?
I shared that to the group chat.
Yeah,
that was top class. He's like, hey, maybe you can start spinning this instead of spinning the cars, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Williams.
I'd put him next to Mazepin.
Trash.
Absolutely screwed Russell out of a top 10 performance.
Alfa Romeo.
I'd say good. Good performance by both our drivers. Giovinazzi was decent and Raikkonen was great.
AlphaTauri.
Decent. I'd say okay.
Okay.
Okay. I like that question because I have an answer for it.
Alpine.
I'd drive for AlphaTauri. But Alpine, I'd say poor.
What's the question?
If you can't pick Mercedes, but who would you drive for and who would you want as your rival?
If you can't pick the same team, but who would you drive for and who would you want? So basically, what do you mean that I can't pick Mercedes?
Oh, I thought it was that, but I think we just can't pick to both be at Mercedes. But if you want to pick Mercedes, go ahead because I won't pick them.
Yeah, I'd want to pick Mercedes.
I'd go McLaren. I'd go chill in my McLaren. I think my rival I'd pick. If I could have a rival, I'd have Esteban Ocon because I can't stand him.
If I had a rival, my rival would be. I like most people on the grid. That's the problem. Mazepin's too fucking easy.
Mazepin's way too easy. I think a great rivalry would be against someone like Checo or someone like
Verstappen for me.
Verstappen probably. Yeah,
This is the only one I don't really get along with, to be honest. But I'm man enough to say he's done well this weekend.
Yeah, I think Ocon's he's a driver who's a decent driver, but he was shit this week.
People, I still got look. Look. Here's the thing. Unlike some people want to do the F1 content, I've got the balls to still sit there and go, yeah, but Hamilton didn't do it. Verstappen was better this weekend.
Yeah, you have to have the balls to say that.
Yeah,
sometimes other race. Ferrari was a better team this weekend. Ferrari was a better team this weekend in the end. Their ability to do what they did with their cars was phenomenal during the race.
It's like I said, some people can't stand someone's achievements. That's the thing.
Ferrari's a good team. There are rivals, but I know they're a good team.
Alpine.
They're poor.
Well, obviously, Ferrari's going to be the biggest name in sport.
Yeah. I'd say poor, not any higher for Alpine. You have Ocon, who had a very bad race, and Alonso, who had not a very good race either.
Aston Martin.
I'd say very poor.
Very poor. And Ferrari.
Say an 8. They had a great race.
Very, very good race.
Yeah, they're very good race. I'd put them at okay. Maybe right at that bang average, because they had a great job with Norris, but a terrible job with Ricciardo.
Red Bull.
Great weekend for them, I think.
9.
And I think you put Mercedes right next to them.
No.
I'm okay with that as well. It does end up being a poor weekend. They do need to wake up. They do need to upgrade that car.
They need to wake up. Big up, Charlie, mate. Big up. Yeah. The reason I put them poor is because they're not realizing the car's not quick enough.
Not at all. I mean, you can see they're just dropping back and losing time. I mean, the gap that he lost by, I think, is the biggest gap that there's been.
And that's only that was before the pit stop. He was 12 seconds behind before the pit stop.
Yeah, he was almost at 14 seconds at one point.
Right. I'm sorry, it's just not good enough.
It's not. And you got to be, you have, as Toto Wolff, you have to go and you have to realize it's not good enough and you need to do better. And you're Mercedes, you should be doing way better than you are.
I hope. Do you know what? If it goes on the way it is, I just hope Max Verstappen thanks Mercedes at the end of it. Because it's just effectively giving it.
Mercedes giving him the title if they continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now. So, but yeah, I mean, we've got Styria coming up next. We got the same race again, but in the Austrian Grand Prix.
I'm excited. I want to see Norris finally do something. I want to see Norris on another podium.
Yeah, I mean, like he's sort of a specialist around there now. So
still, this is the first for he's broken his streak where he's now not gone higher than he started. Which I was like, how cool would it be if he finished P2? Finishing higher than he started. But P5, I think him still finishing in the points and finishing in the high points, getting 10 points is huge.
Like when he let Perez and Bottas through, he was like,
yeah. Once he let them through, I'm like, all right, we're going for 5th and we're going to chill, and that's fine with me because that's 10 points. That keeps us 12 points above Ferrari and the drivers and the constructors.
And he knew he was like, that wasn't his fight.
No, he knew. He knew he couldn't do anything about it, and I knew, and all of McLaren fans knew that there was nothing that could be done about it, and it's what happens.
So, yeah, I mean, next weekend, do you think Mercedes can come up with another something different with the setup? Do you think they're going to
have to
different with the setup, or do you think there's just nothing there?
I think they're going to have to. If they want to do anything, they're going to have to because, like we've seen this week.
They're in practice, though. That's the thing. They would seem to be in the long runs. They're on practice, and then the temperature rose during the weekend, and then that put them off big time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who did well or did a lot of people how they did in the free practices and even in qualifying was not how they ended up doing during the race. We saw Ferrari was way better. We saw Ricciardo was way worse in qualifying than he was in the free practices, going from being second in FP3 to being 13th in the end of qualifying. So I think it was free practices were very deceiving, and so was even qualifying, to the point where it was a very different race than people were expecting, because I think a lot of people did differently than they were expected to do after Friday and Saturday.
I think that Joyce all confirms to me. I think Hamilton is staying to next season.
He has to. He wants that title back, because I think he won't sit. Yeah, I think he won't go out unless he's won the title in his last year.
He won't settle with 7.
Yeah.
He won 8. He wants that 8.
He wants to stand alone.
And he wants, I think as well, is not just that, is when you see the competition, what they're offering next year, 10% less downforce effect, closer racing, closer cars together. That's right up Hamilton Street. He wants that. So for me, I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, he'll be here next year.
So, but yeah, but we're gonna have to end it there. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. If you haven't joined the membership, please do it now. There's loads of perks coming your way. There's also new perks coming to you as well, and we'll add them as well. But they just help support the charity's fight against liver disease.
Can you send me the link for that, for the membership? Can you send me the link for that?
Send me a link. It's in the join button down below. But
yeah, because I've gone to it and it sends me down to just your YouTube channel, and I don't know how to get to it from there.
What? Press join, don't you?
I've hit the link and there's.
Press join then.
Oh, let me see if I can find it.
Because it just sends a link to the.
See, I don't see. I'll check on. I'll try it on my computer later, but there's no join button that pops up for me, so I'll check. Yeah, I'll have to check later to see if there's a join button on my computer, because it's not popping up on my phone.
Let me have a look. I'll just double check this further on. So I don't want this screwing up. Oh, don't tell me I've got to redo that bloody copying again. He's got to copy all of that out again.
5 votes now on the poll, and it's still saying no on Leclerc getting the penalty.
Yeah. Just checking. I don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to. I'd have to edit that out again. Yeah, it takes you to your YouTube channel, and there's the join button there.
Yeah, no worries. Just give me a heads up when you got it going. I'll check it out.
So yeah, it's there. And then when I do that, it comes up with this.
Interesting. Let me see.
Anyway, as you can see, people haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's on my phone. I'll check on my. I'll check through
as well. This is funny. But you've got Featley Warrior as well, which is member only live streams, polls, early access to new videos. That'll be just pre-recordings, and you get early access to them. And Featley Legend as well, which is connected to social media. Once we have enough members, we'll set up our own member chat on social media. So we'll
definitely,
or on Discord, something like that, or either one of the two. Maybe Discord, but anyway, yeah, make sure you check that out. Until
definitely.
Then, we will we'll be back tomorrow with preview to England versus Germany. I'm trying to see if I can get Reese on for that. I don't know when he's free, but if he just names me a time, if he's free, then I'll do it for whenever time. And then I've got the other games, which is Croatia, Spain, and what's the other one?
France, Switzerland, which is coming up tomorrow. I'm excited for that one. I'm hoping we can win that one.
Yeah. But until then, if you win, who you go for? France?
Switzerland. I'm part Swiss.
Switzerland. Oh, okay, that's
I'm a,
Switzerland. Okay.
I'm a quarter Swiss, so I'm going for Switzerland.
Okay, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. So, yeah, until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you guys soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.